He had a powerful swinging pulse that he created in the rhythm section, especially with drummer Philly Joe Jones, that will never be surpassed. His concept of souling was that of the pure melodic bebop language as opposed to the more bass-friendly, highly technical style of Scott LaFaro. Who was Paul Chambers? Here on Big on Bebop. He was born Paul Lawrence Dunbar Chambers Jr. on April 22, 1935 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. However, he spent most of his formative years in Detroit, Michigan, after moving there with his family at a young age. Chambers was drawn to music early on, studying at Cass Technical High School, a renowned institution that produced many great jazz musicians, initially learning the baritone horn and tuba before transitioning to the double bass in his teenage years. His transition to the bass came as part of his school's music program, where he quickly developed a strong foundation in classical, jazz music, and orchestral music. In 1952, he began taking private lessons with Gaston Brohan, principal bassist of the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. His early musical inspirations included jazz bassists such as Jimmy Blanton and Oscar Pettiford, whose innovative playing styles left a lasting impression on him. Chambers also benefited from Detroit's rich jazz community in the 1940s and early 1950s, where he played alongside future jazz greats, refining his technique and developing the distinct sound that would later define his career. He took private lessons and played in school ensembles, gaining a deep understanding of the instrument. His first significant exposure to professional jazz came in 1949, performing in local clubs with local musicians such as Kenny Burrell, where he caught the attention of established musicians. In 1954, he went on the road with Paul Quinnickett for 8 months before moving to New York City, where he became a sought-after bassist, playing with Benny Green, Sonny Stitt, Joe Rowland, J.J. Johnson, Kai Winding, and George Wallington. Chambers' breakthrough moment came in 1955 when he joined the Miles Davis Quintet at just 19 years old. His work on Round About Midnight in 1956 and Cookin' in 1957 showcased his lyrical walking bass style and impeccable timing, earning him widespread recognition. His ability to blend technical precision with a warm, swinging groove made him one of the most sought-after bassists in jazz. His performance on John Coltrane's Blue Train in 1957 further cemented his reputation, particularly with his virtuosic arco-bowed solo on the title track. Chambers quickly became one of the most sought-after bassists in jazz, known for his rich tone, impeccable timing, and ability to play both pizzicato and arco solos. His early years in New York City saw collaborations with some of the biggest names in jazz, including Miles Davis Quintet from 1955 to 63. Chambers was a core member of Davis's first great quintet alongside John Coltrane, Red Garland, Philly Joe Jones. He played on landmark albums like Round About Midnight, 1957, Milestones in 1958, and the legendary Kind of Blue in 1959. As mentioned before, Chambers played on Coltrane's early recordings as a leader, including Blue Train in 1957, where his bass lines and solos were a defining feature. While working with Davis, he also recorded with artists such as Sonny Rollins on Tenor Madness in 1956 and Cannonball Adderley and Wynton Kelly. He also recorded as a band leader, releasing albums like Whims of Chambers in 1956, showcasing his virtuosity and melodic approach to the bass. His early career set the foundation for his status as one of the most influential jazz bassists of all time. Beyond Coltrane and Davis, Chambers contributed to Sonny Clark's Cool Struttin' in 1958, Hank Mobley's Soul Station in 1960, and the Wynton Kelly Trio, Kelly Blue, in 1959. By this time, Chambers was the undisputed king of jazz bass, shaping the sound of an entire generation of musicians. After leaving Davis's group in 1963, Chambers formed a trio with pianist Wynton Kelly and drummer Jimmy Cobb. The trio often backed Wes Montgomery, Cannonball Adderley, and other leading jazz musicians of the time. Their telepathic chemistry made them one of the greatest rhythm sections in jazz history. He then freelanced in New York City with Tony Scott and Barry Harris, among others. Chambers continued to record prolifically, but his heavy drinking began to take a toll. Despite his declining health, Chambers remained an active musician. However, by 1968, he began to experience serious medical issues. Financial instability made it difficult for him to receive the proper treatment, and his condition worsened. He was diagnosed with tuberculosis, a disease that was often fatal in an era when health care was not easily accessible for many jazz musicians. On January 4, 1969, Paul Chambers passed away at the young age of 33. Despite his short life, Chambers left behind a legacy that continues to inspire musicians and listeners alike. His work with Miles Davis, John Coltrane, and countless other jazz legends remains timeless, and his recordings are still studied as essential blueprints for the jazz bassist. He played with a large resonant tone with a broad bottom pulse. Paul Chambers, an influential bebop bass player.